What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm back at it again with a little bit of Tourist Bus Simulator. Now, this is going to be a little bit of an update. You call it a review part 2, if you will. But I just wanted to share a few experiences that I've had with my time playing this game, and the things which have really prevented me from continuing on, if I'm completely honest. Now, I initially had a save. I was a fair few hours in. I was a little bit more established. I had a few buses, employees, etc., and I was earning some really decent money. I spent a lot of time picking up the points of interest, doing all the collectibles and everything like that. And then one day, I was presented with an error code upon trying to save my game. Now, that error code prevented me from saving my current progress, and it made me create a new save file. Now, with that new save file in mind, when I fast traveled, it would put me back to my original save. Now, I'm not too sure as to why that happened, but I would continue on anyway, on the understanding that, I didn't mind not making any progress, because if I had, kept it in the state that I was in, I would have been quite happy with it. But then that's when things really started to go wrong for me. Not only did I lose progress, but at the same time, the core elements, the functions of the game started to basically fall apart. Now, I'll give you a little example here. So this is a completely new save. I made it in the hopes that I would be able to sort of bypass this bug, and even with creating a new game, it still persists. So I've got a bus which I'm supposed to be picking up from the harbour on this day. So if I go and select it, now usually it spawns down here. I have been to the other harbour as well, and it is not there. Now, I have a route, a GPS route. Now, as you can see, I've got no current orders, so there should be no reason why I have a route other than going to the harbour to pick up my bus. Now, if I jump into my car, you will see on the map that it thinks I'm completing a bus route. It thinks that I'm on a route and it's set. Now, in order for me to clear that, I would have to complete the route, meaning that there would be no passengers on the bus, no passengers at the stops, anything like that. So it completely renders the whole stopping at bus stops useless. It definitely takes away from the feel and the immersion of the game, considering it's solely based upon picking up passengers and taking them to and from, etc. So by completing this route, I would have to just stop at the bus stop, then continue and carry on. Now, the problem is that when I do that and then select a new route, it then comes up with prompts saying that I failed the previous route. But by doing that, what it initially does is it makes me fail the route, the order that I've just selected. So there's definitely a bit of a chain reaction when it comes to these routes. Now, that's not the only issues I've experienced. I mean, the more you progress through this game, the more significant those bugs become. So I usually have an issue with the garage, the service repair garage. I get the occasional issue where the doors don't open, and then when I do go in there, it tells me that I don't have an appointment, even though it is on that date and it does fit the times which it's asked. And then when it does work, it comes up with a little prompt for me saying that I've completely missed the appointment. Bearing in mind I'm sat in the garage, and it awards me 40,000 euros. Now, from that moment on, I have not been able to use the garage or anything like that for that matter. If I'm on a route and I go and pick up a like a point of interest, what it'll do is it'll completely remove my GPS from the truck. From the bus, sorry. I'll start it up. The GPS will disappear, but the moment I leave the seat, the GPS comes back on. So it's completely useless beyond that point. Not only that, but the passengers don't seem to be loading in. The bus routes seem to be cancelling themselves. I'll be 2-3 minutes into a route and it'll say that I failed it. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but it's definitely something which is stopping me from progressing through this game. Not only that, with this route issue as well, it's thinking that I'm doing a route when actually I'm not. So it's definitely confused itself down a path, and even making a new game save has done completely nothing. I've still got the same issue. So I mean, as far as that goes, it's pretty game breaking for me. I can't do anything, I can't progress any further. I've lost my game save twice, and now starting for a third time, it's kind of disheartened me in a way, because I don't want to continue or progress through knowing that my save data could potentially, or is, hanging in the balance. So there's definitely something to consider before purchasing this game. Now, I know in my previous review, it was all sunshine and rainbows, because back then everything was working fine. Now, like I said, the small choices and decisions that we make in the early stages of the game, I think, really define what sort of bugs you encounter and what times you encounter them. Now, like I've said previously, the more established you get in this game, the more things you unlock, the more buses you buy. That's when the real problems start to kick in. Loss of frame rate, AI acting up a little bit more bizarre than usual, passengers not loading in, and just generally not being able to use the main functions of the game. Now, it's not only that, wheel support is a bit of a mixed bag. It's 50-50. Some say that it works, some say that it doesn't. Personally, I've never had an issue with the Logitech G29 on the PS5, but I have heard reports that it's not working for everybody. So that's something that you really have to take into consideration before you think about purchasing this game. Now, I know we're getting onto a little bit of a rant here, but there's been no news of any sort of patch, update, anything like that in regards to the problems which have been, forwarded to the developer. I've sent emails and things like that, and I don't even think that they're being acknowledged. So that just basically shows you the general attitude. Now, we all know what life was like for on the road. Well, it seems that Tourist Bus is following a very similar suit. The lack of communication is absolutely disgusting. A little roadmap wouldn't hurt. I know that this game has a lot of potential, and I did enjoy it from when it was working. So don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the game, and I know that everybody's got different problems at different times, but I think in a nutshell, overall, it doesn't excuse or deny the fact that there are problems which exist within this game. Now, as to whether you should still buy it or not, you have to look at it in sort of this way. I get a lot of comments saying whether you should buy this or whether you should buy Bus Sim 21. Now, in the current state that this game is in and the bugs which reside in it, I would definitely recommend going for Bus Sim 21 if that's something that you're a bit undecided on. And that's just simply down to the fact that this game is in such a mess right now that, you don't want to progress far like I did to then lose your save data. It's not good. I would recommend waiting a little bit longer in the hopes that they update this game, and they get these things sorted out. But like I said, there's been no communication. There's been nothing to suggest that you know, there's an update around the corner. There's nothing to suggest that the problems which we've notified them about are going to be addressed. There's been none of that. And in the meantime, we've just got to put up with the small, little, minute bugs which collectively are causing the game to really suffer and break, which is letting it down completely. Now, if you have any other questions about this game, drop it down in the comment section below, because I'll definitely be interested to hear what experience that you're having, what sort of bugs that you're experiencing, or whether you're not experiencing any at all. You know, this is what I mean. You see, it's a mixed bag. It is definitely a mixed bag. I mean, from the problems which I've stated and listed, there are a few more, but those are the more predominant ones which are affecting my gameplay and affecting me from continuing on. Now, if you did like this sort of video, please like and subscribe. Turn that bell notification on, because I will update this game as much as I can, and I will try and follow it as best as I can. But for the meantime, you know, it's in such a sad state that anybody that's contemplating buying this game currently, I would suggest holding off and waiting for it to be fixed. But you know, you may get lucky. You may get lucky, but it's a bit of a 50-50 mixed bag as to whether you will have problems or not, and that's just the gamble that you take when you purchase this game. But thanks for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate your support. It's been phenomenal. But until next time, like I said, stay safe, take it easy, and I will see you in the next one.